Hey, boys and girls. All right, so today I've got a new lesson for you on dividing mixed numbers. I also am going to apologize. I know I'm a little stuffed up, so I sound kind of funny, but I'm going to try and get through this video for you, okay? So if you watched my last video on how to divide fractions by fractions, this lesson is going to be very easy for you, okay? Because the only difference is now we're adding in mixed numbers. So my first example is 2 2/3 divided by 2/3. So every time I have a mixed number, before I can do any math operations, I have to turn it into an improper fraction. So the very first thing I'm going to do is just turn that into an improper fraction. So I do 3 times 2, which is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So then I have 8 over 3 divided by 2/3. 8 over 3 divided by 2/3. Now, you know how to divide two fractions, right? We just multiply by the reciprocal. So I keep my first fraction the same. 8 over 3 times, I flip that fraction, 3 over 2. 8/3 times 3 over 2. Now, this is just multiplying, so we can cross simplify. A number that goes into 3 and 3 is 3. So I'm going to cross both of those off and turn them into 1. And what goes into 2 and 8? 2, right? 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay? And then we just multiply straight across. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Then I have 4 over 1, which is improper, but honestly, it's just the same thing as 4. All right? So 2 2/3 divided by 2/3 is 4. We're going to do another one. Okay, I got my next one ready to go. 3 5/6 divided by 1 2/3. My first step, change those into improper fractions. And you should be an expert at this by now, right? We've done it so many times. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 5 is 23 over 6. And then I'm going to divide that by, now we have to change this one. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5/3. To divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. So 23 over 6 stays the same. And then I'm going to times by 3 over 5. All right? Now, cross simplify. I see 3 goes into both of those. So I'll divide by 3. And then I can multiply straight across. 23 times 1 is 23. And 2 times 5 is 10. So now I have 23 over 10. That's improper. So let's change it. How many times does 10 go into 23? 2 times with 3 left over. Now remember, if you can't divide that in your head, you just divide it off to the side. Either way, you will get 2 3/10. All right, my next one. 6 1/2 divided by 2. All right, now this is improper, so I need to change it. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 1 is 13 over 2 divided by, I can't divide by a whole number, but I can turn that whole number into a fraction. It's the same thing as 2 over 1, right? Then we just multiply by the reciprocal, so I keep 13 halves times 1 over 2. And we multiply straight across. 13 times 1 is 13. 2 times 2 is 4. 13 over 4. Change that into a mixed number. And, roll these up. How many times does 4 go into 13? 3 times, right? That's going to give us 12. So we have 1 left over. 3 1/4. What do you think? Not too bad, right? You just got to change them into improper fractions and then divide and get your answer in simplest form. Okay, let's try just one more together. Okay, this is going to be our last one. 2 1/6 divided by 3/4. I only have one mixed number, so I'm going to change it. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So now I have 13 over 6 divided by 3/4. Dividing is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to keep 13 over 6, and then I'm going to times that by 4 over 3. Just flip them around. I'm going to cross simplify. 2 goes into 6 and 4, so I'm going to divide by 2, and then I'm going to multiply. 13 times 2 is 26. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, we're going to turn that into a mixed number again. So 9 can go into 26 how many times? Okay, we're going to do this one as an example. So in case you can't remember, here's how you divide it out, because that one's a little trickier. You do 26 divided by 9. How many times can 9 go into 26? 2 times, right? 2 times 9 is 18. So we're going to have to subtract, do some borrowing, and we're going to get a remainder of 8. Now we take that remainder and turn it into a fraction and put the 9 on the bottom. So my final answer is going to be 2 and 8/9. Okay, there's an example with just a few more steps. So make sure you watch this again if you need to, that you go back and take notes, all the good stuff that good math students do, and good luck.